Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Corner with the Conn Man on the Sports Wave Network. I am your host, the Conn Man. How y'all doing this afternoon? I am pumped up because we're going to be doing the NBA preview. Hopefully, my guest will be coming on shortly. I want to inform you that one of my guests will be Justin Pagan. Now, for those of you who don't know, Justin is a content creator and an NBA enthusiast. He's known for his insightful commentary on basketball. He has appeared on various sports podcasts, sharing his expertise and opinions on the NBA landscape. Um, Hopefully he'll come on. We're going to be talking about the NBA, and we're going to be doing some things right now. But before we go into the NBA topics, I want to talk about tonight's games, tonight's scheduled games. On the topic we have today is we have Houston at San Antonio, we have the Knicks at Atlanta, we have Miami at the Boston Celtics, we have OKC at Cleveland Cavaliers, we have Denver at Memphis. We also have the Pistons at the Hornets. We have the Raptors at the Bulls. We have the Nets at the Mavs. Big schedule. We have Clippers at the Jazz. We have the Magic at Portland. And we have Warriors at the Sacramento Kings, which is kind of interesting, too, topics about the NBA. And we're going to get back into that real quick. I have a couple of things on my mind before we go and delve into the NBA preview. A couple of things I want to discuss real quick with y'all. Get your take on some of these topics. First of all, we're going to deal with the James Harden fiasco. Now, there's a whole bunch of things that are going on about the James Harden situation. There comes a point where certain things happen, and that we have to decide whether or not, what would you do if you were management with the Harden situation? We already know he left one team. He got his way out of Houston. Then he got his way out of Brooklyn. Now he wants to get his way out of Philadelphia 76ers. Now, we also know that James has been a troubled individual. He really wanted to have his superstar status to get that max contract. And he's not at that level of a player anymore, as we all know. But he seems to think so. Now we got to go back, look at it from his point of view. He feels he was lied to by Daryl Morey. Whether or not, we really don't know. It's one thing, though. I think, when he went on national TV, or he did a national press conference from China, where he was doing, I guess, an Adidas commercial or sponsorship or whatever. And he basically called out his boy, Maury, as a liar. And he knew that it was going to get out. And he knew that, by making them comments, he wanted to create some tension within the team itself. Now, there's a couple of little things that have gone on since. If you're James Harden and you have a problem, you felt you were lied to, you would think that he would bring that to the attention of Morey or the ownership. Now, we don't know if he did or didn't. If he did and then didn't get a response, then you knew that maybe that was his ultimate last move for him to do. If that's what he felt, that he tried to contact Morey, tried to contact ownership, and didn't get what he felt was needed. So he felt that, where's his next move? Now, the key, I think, is if by him opting in, it kind of took away his leverage when he opted in. And now, of course, he said he could never play for that man again. So that brings tension upon his teammates as well as the fans as well. And I'm going to try to look at it from two perspectives. I'm going to try to look at it from management side, and I'm going to try to look at it on the player side. When he decided to do what he did and then show up and then go for 10 days, and then maybe some of you folks may or may not know, He went yesterday to the facility, and then he went to the airport to board the plane to go along with the team to go to Milwaukee, and the team security would not allow him to go in. What kind of example is that setting? Because the NBA right now, because of that, they're investigating because they have that certain time limit clause in their contract now, where if you're able to play, you should be able to play, and if you can't play, you need to be seen. And of course, the 76ers, they didn't allow him on the plane, which meant he wasn't allowed to be seen by the public. And then again tomorrow night, I think they're playing in tomorrow night as well. I think they're playing at Toronto. Now, what's going to happen then? Now, what kind of message is that sending? I mean, you still got to be professional. Come on, man. Even though he's making less than what he made, I mean, he's making $35 million a year. I mean, you got to take that in consideration as well. I mean, $35 million is no joke. I mean, obviously he wanted more, and he gave up money last year so they can get a couple other players to make them playoff eligible or maybe have a chance for a championship. Everybody knows how great a player he is. He's going to be a future Hall of Famer. I mean, I think he led the league in scoring 3 times. I mean, his numbers are phenomenal. Everybody knows, though, he has some real unfortunate moments during the playoff. Everybody kind of knows, like he kind of fell asleep game 6 and 7 last year in the playoffs, and going back 4 or 5 years, he's just has a bad. I mean, when you're making that money and you want to get that max contract, you got to play like a max player. I mean, simple as that. That's my opinion. But then again, like I said, he didn't make a point because by him not playing, he loses almost $400,000 per game. Per game. Check that out. $400,000 per game. If that don't make you want to come back quick, you know what I mean? And the fact is, too, what does that say to your teammates? They've been there. You know what I mean? Basketball is a team game. What are you saying to your teammates? You guys don't matter? Yeah, I'm worried about me. And, basically, hell with you guys. I'm going to do what I got to do. And the thing, all that money he is making. And again, you got a guy, Embiid, right? MVP. How much longer is he going to deal with this? Look at all the controversy. Look at the stuff that happened with Ben Simmons. Come on, y'all. Ben Simmons. They had to go through that. Oh, let's go on before that. How about how many years they had to suffer with the process? They had to go through that. It just seems like the last, I don't know, maybe 8, 9 years, Philadelphia, man, is just, I don't know. I feel like they have somewhat of a curse, maybe. I don't know. And I think, with the process and with Philadelphia, they've been right there. They've been making the playoffs. I mean, Doc Rivers brought them there almost every damn year. They haven't got over the final hump. I think if James Harden had played up to his potential. Also, if you remember, although Embiid was hurt, he only got 15 points, and Harden got 9 in Game 7. I mean, how you going to win with numbers like that? So again, I'm gonna get off the James Harden fiasco. Although it was brought to my attention that there might be a good move for James Harden would be to go to the Lakers. Because if you guys notice, the Lakers are not very thrilled with D'Angelo Russell because he doesn't really know how to set up his players. Like LeBron, that's why LeBron, if you notice, LeBron played most of the point last night and got 9 assists. So I think, this is not my suggestion, but someone would suggest, in fact, I think it was Kendrick Perkins that said maybe he should go to the Lakers because that's their problem as far as, D'Angelo Russell is more of an individual player where they need someone who can distribute the ball. And as you know, James Harden did lead the league in assists last year. I think he averaged 10.6 assists per game and close to 20 points. He still plays at an all-star caliber. And then maybe playing with someone like LeBron and AD, he can defer to them without feeling that he has to go do so much. That's a possibility. You can give up some players too. You can give up Hoochie Mama, as I call him. You can give up him. You can give up D'Angelo Russell and maybe a first or second round pick. It might be a possibility because that right now, if you're Philadelphia, you got to take probably 50 cents on the dollar if you're going to get anything back. You're going to have to take about 50 cents off the dollar. So anyway, I'll get off the James Harden fiasco. What do I think is going to end up happening? Two things are going to happen. Either he's going to play or he's not going to play. And the question is, if he plays, what kind of Harden are we going to get? We're going to get disgruntled Harden, or we're going to get the Harden of old? Because you remember, he's on a 1-year contract. If he messes up, it can mess up his free agency. So he realizes that. And if he doesn't show up, he loses $400,000 a game. So if you're James Harden, to me, even though you felt that you've been betrayed by Morey and ownership and management, I would go out there and I'd bust hump. And because now you're playing for your future earnings. So I would go out there, bust my behind, help the team do the best they possibly can. Obviously, it'd be great to get to a conference final. I don't think they have that depth to be able to do that. But I think he should go there, give it his best to see if they can definitely give it a run. I would definitely do that if I was him. On a good note, since we went on the James Harden fiasco, I'm very happy about, and I want to get you guys feelings and ideas on. They're going back to the original All-Star game, the way it was played, the East versus West, and the way that it was done back in the day, which is what I appreciate. I think, they tried a new concept. I didn't like the way it was done. I didn't like the way teams were chosen. It was a new concept. Me being old school, I'm old as dirt. I just like the way the game was being played because, the East versus West, I think it makes it more competitive. I think, you take a little bit more pride, when you're going against the Western Conference versus the Eastern Conference, and you get so many superstars on each conference. And I think it gives more enjoyment for the fans. The only thing I wish they would do a little bit more better in the All-Star game would be the dunk contest. A couple of guys had, made reference to maybe because you got a lot of street balls out there that can dunk unbelievable. I posted many posts on my Facebook page about some of these guys are absolute phenomenal. And, I know the NBA stars don't want to participate. How about just have a dunk contest with them? Look at that guy, McClung, whatever his name is. He just came from the G League, and he won the dunk contest. And he put a hell of a show on. And I guarantee you a lot of NBA ball players might not want to mess with him. But I guarantee you get some street ballers, they'll go out there and do the damn thing. I definitely I feel good about that. I'll finally bring back some interest in the actual All-Star game. I'm very happy about that. I think it's going to draw more attention. And, with the fact that it's going to be in Indianapolis, I guess, this year. So I think it's going to draw a lot of attention. And I think it's good for the NBA as well. I also want to do something, we talk about players and, spoiled, making a whole bunch of money and how they are for themselves. Well, I got a little bit of good news. I happened to be scrolling down and I saw something. I'm probably going to pronounce his name wrong, but I know who he is. His name is Ayo Dosunmu. He's a guard, plays for the Chicago Bulls. He's originally from Chicago. He's playing for the Chicago Bulls. And as you know, Chicago, like any major city, they have a lot of problems, with gang violence and shootings and all those type of things. So it's good to see someone that's giving back and paying it forward. And my man Ayo, I have a hard time pronouncing my own damn name. But anyway, he is doing so many things to give access for opportunity for the youth of Chicago. And right now, he put on a basketball clinic. He's doing so many things for advancement, education opportunities for 1,500 Chicago youth. 1,500. To me, that's something that Chicago needs. I'm not from Chicago, but, like all major cities, he's making an impact. And, it's easy for us to, criticize players and the way they play, but they are human beings. And, it's good to see someone come up and step up to the plate and look out for his own. Again, like I say, he's from Chicago. And to me, I have to read that man, kind of brought tears to my eyes because I kind of do the same thing in my community, not to that level, but, I know that there are some really good players who are doing some tremendous things. And I think, every now and then we should hop on the good and not always the negative. And I just wanted to bring that out. I thought that was very important. Now, here's something that's going to Oh boy, I'm gonna get some feedback on this one. I was on a couple of shows with a couple of people, and we were discussing, how come the NBA, they don't go after certain players that can make a difference. And one of the names that came up, and I'm sure this is going to get some heat. I'm sure people are going to be interested in what I got to say right now. When the Lakers won their championship run in the bubble, they had two major bigs, if you guys remember. And only one of them is playing in the NBA right now. I think he's playing for Sacramento, if I'm correct. But that's not the one I'm referring to. I'm referring to former Rookie of the Year, definite Hall of Famer, I would say. Had a tremendous career with the Orlando Magic. He's played for, I don't know, maybe 7-8 teams thus far. And he goes by the name of Dwight Howard. For those of you who may or may not know, he found himself in the middle of, as they say in the hood, situation. He got, he was brought up on civil, I won't say civil lawsuit, but civil, yeah, I guess it is civil lawsuit, because he engaged in claimed that he had sexually assaulted another man. And the fact is that this man alleges that Dwight was doing some sexual things that probably shouldn't have happened, which I really don't want to go into detail. But my point being that, Dwight Howard, maybe that's why these NBA teams haven't gave him an opportunity. Maybe they know something that we don't know. That's something I did not know. Dwight himself said it was consensual. I don't know anything about that to a certain extent, so I can only go by what was said or what he had claimed. But to me, that sounds kind of strange, but it is what it is. I got nothing. I'm just saying maybe that's why teams have hesitated into maybe picking him up, because I see some of the big guys that are playing in the NBA right now, and Dwight Howard would be more, I guess, more valuable than a lot of other players. A rim protector, very strong. He's going to be sharp money. I think you give him an opportunity, he can make a difference. I mean, he doesn't have to play 30 minutes a game, but he can give you 10, 15 minutes quality time. Great rebounder, give you 6 fouls. I think he could make a great addition to a team. But I think teams, they do their homework and maybe they find out things that we don't know. Maybe there's a lot of things I don't know. Before I go into each individual team, because after all, this is NBA preview, I'm going to go with Anthony Davis. He's in the limelight a lot about his play or lack thereof. And I guess what happened was when they got swept by Denver Nuggets last summer, I guess the coach, Malone, had made a coined a phrase that he was the Lakers' daddy, something of that sort. And of course, the Lakers didn't particularly care for that quote or sentence or whatever you want to call it. Well, prior to the season, Anthony Davis came on in NBA Today and spoke about, hey, I don't like that what they said, but me and Brian were talking. Oh, we can't wait to play them. And of course, they played last week, this week, the first night, matter of fact, Tuesday night, I think it was. And Anthony Davis got 17 points all in the first half and got 0 points in the second half. Anthony Davis is getting a lot of heat because, as you know, he just signed a $186 million contract for 3 years. And so, when you're making that kind of money, man, you have to come through. And a lot of people just don't think that he can be consistent enough. Like he just doesn't have the dog in him, like a LeBron or a Kobe or that situation. To me, I think that it's hard for certain people to bring that energy every day. And I also think it comes down to matchups as well. He had to go and play against Jokic, whatever his damn name is. And Jokic is almost 290 pounds. And he's putting that body on AD, and AD was having a tough time. I think and plus with the altitude out there, I think he had a tough time. and then everybody knew that the next game he was going to perform like he did. He got 30 points. He hit 7 for 7 from the foul line last night. Played very well, although they had to come back. I mean, LeBron had to play the whole fourth quarter, and again, that's why I think the Lakers right now they need another point guard. That's a true point guard. They weren't happy with Schroeder. They weren't happy with Westbrook. They're not happy with D'Angelo. There's got to be somebody out there. I got a few names I could think of that would fit right in, but it's up to them. Again, it's only second game of the season, so we got a long way to go. We definitely have a long way to go. But my opinion on the Anthony Davis situation, if you guys watch the game, LeBron said, "Ho. Yeah, he played 28 minutes the game before. He said, "Oh, no. He said, I can play point." He said, "I can play point." And what they do, they gave him the ball, they let him play point, and look what happened. They didn't have the opposing team didn't have their two best players, but they only had Durant. Book was out. Beal had a bad back. Book's foot was hurting, and it shouldn't have been that close of a game. But you got to take what you can. A win is a win, and is a win. But I like the fact that LeBron stood up for Anthony Davis. They asked him, "What do you think about Anthony Davis?" And them talking. And LeBron, I got to give him credit. He backed his teammate up and said, "Look, he don't care about what you all say. We don't care either. We got his back, and we love him, have him here. We don't care. He don't concern himself with that. He don't pay attention to social media. He said, we're going to do it." I respect that. Because they probably wanted LeBron to throw him under the bus. Now, LeBron may or may not say some things behind closed doors, but in public, you handle yourself as a professional, and that's what LeBron did. So I give him a lot of credit for that as well. Getting back to the NBA, I have a feeling that it's going to be a very interesting season. But let's break it down. I'm going to break it down real quick for you. And then I'm going to break it down as far as what teams I think are going to surprise y'all. And I think I'm going to break it down my rookie of the year, my MVP. I did some homework today. So we're going to break it down. We're going to go with, first of all, and no specific order, but I'm going to break it down. And this is one of the teams that I'm telling you right now, y'all better watch out for. I am totally impressed. And that is with the Indiana Pacers. I think they're going to be something to be reckoned with. I like their lineup. I like the way they have put together their roster. I think they've had some really good players. They had Mr. Bruce Brown from the defending champions and the Nuggets, and I think he's going to make a great addition as well. Just trying to get my paperwork here real quick. But I'm very, 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 very happy with the Indiana Pacers. I think they're going to do a great job. Now look at this. Check out their lineup. We got Bruce Brown. Bruce was a major factor in Denver Nuggets winning their championship. He's a great perimeter shooter. Can take it to the cup. Great defense. He's more of a leader. I think he's going to add to that Indy team. And what a great addition. Then you got the superstar Tyrese Halliburton. Come on, this dude can play. This dude can take it to the cup. Good perimeter shooter. I'm not instant scoring, so you get more offensive power. Then you got Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield's been on trade rumors for, since the beginning of time. It seems like, but know something? It seems like he found a place. And right now, with the team that they have right now, they're gonna make some change. And if you notice the other night, they put up like 150 points. So you gotta watch out for them. And then, they got the guy who he said he was willing, couldn't wait to play against LeBron, Ben Merchant. He is good play. He's a very good player. I like him. Very strong, very confident. I like the way he has that. Every team needs to have that dog in them. And I think he definitely has that. Another guy that I'm really happy with is, as you know, the man in the middle, Miles Turner. Look at what he contributes. My man can do it all. My man can score. He can dribble. He can pass. He can shoot. He can rebound. Rim protector. He can do it all. I think he's going to be a major factor this year. And then they just signed Andrew Nembhard. He's another one that the Celtics, I think, drafted as well. But, sometimes it takes players a few years to get their game back together, or learn what fits their role. Because a lot of players when they come into the NBA, it's more just trying to fit. It's not trying to, it's the team that drafts you. It's how you fit in, how they see you fitting in. And until you develop your own way, so others can see how you fit or what you do best, you're gonna more or less play like a reserve role, or you're not gonna be able to really give what you can and let them see what your game is all about. And sometimes it takes either going to another team, sometimes it takes another coach coming to the team that you're already on. It takes maybe the assistant coaches to see what kind of ability you do have, how you play under pressure, how there's a whole lot of things that go into it. So some players you can't expect them to come out and be Michael Jordan right away. If you notice, a lot of players, it takes about 4 or 5 years on the regular, at least 4 or 5 years before you come into your own. You find out you're already used to the schedule. You're already used to the 82 games. You're already used to playing in different facilities. You already have a lot of stuff. You have less to worry about. You can just more concentrate on the game itself. I think that makes them a major factor in that as well. Then you got, this guy here, man, he played with Philly. Don't know why they let him go. J.J. McDonald, I think he's a really good guard. Again, I'm impressed with it. No one's talking about Indiana. Mark my word, come middle of the All-Star break, watch out for Indiana. And then, of course, check this one out. They got Daniel Tice, backup center for the Celtics. They really should not have gotten rid of him. He's a good backup center. He can hit the perimeter, plays hard. I mean, he'll give you everything he got for whatever time he's out there. And then we got another recluse from the Knicks, Obi Toppin. Y'all remember him? Obi Toppin. Now, this is where he was in a situation where he really couldn't fit in with the Knicks because of Randall and all that. He really couldn't fit in. But now he's going to get the opportunity, and watch. I think he's going to explode. I think, again, this is my surprise pick for the NBA this year is Indiana Pacers will be my top pick. That's going to surprise the NBA world. Okay, now we're going to break it down. Again, in no specific order, the Charlotte Hornets. I watched them twice this season, and they really didn't make that many adjustments. I mean, they did pick up Miller, who I think is going to be a quality player. But again, when you have veteran players who make big money, again, you got to find your role. And it's going to take a couple years, 3-4 years. But you can tell some signs. Again, he can put the ball to the floor. He can bring it to the cup. I like his intensity. I think he needs to put on a little bit more weight, but he's only a rookie. But I think he's going to add. But Charlotte, as you know, they haven't had a winning team in so long. And to be totally honest with you, I don't think they're going to really prosper too much or do much better than what they did last season. I feel bad. Maybe Jordan finally realized, hey, maybe it's time to go. Although he's still a minority owner as well, so he's still part of the system. If you know what I'm trying to say. Now we go with my hometown team, the Boston Celtics. Y'all don't know I don't like the Celtics. I haven't liked the Celtics for a long time, but due to my own personal reasons. But we won't go there. But the Celtics, man, they have, I think, captured the limelight. I think they picked up a lot of great players. And I think they picked up, it's about the culture. I think they picked up a good culture for what they're trying to do. And they're going to be tough to beat. Y'all saw, Kristaps Porzingis, right? He's 7'3", was highly regarded, went to the Knicks. Knicks couldn't wait to get rid of him because he was injury prone. And then he goes over to the Dallas Mavericks. Can't get along with Luka. So that didn't go well. And again, he goes to the Wizards, and then he stays relatively healthy, averages about 23 points a game, shot very well, played most of the game. Now he comes to the Celtics, and look what he does. I mean, he had a good preseason. Very first game, playing at home at Madison Square Garden, and look what he does. He lights them up. Gets booed. The crowd boos him from the beginning to the end, and he goes out there and gets 30 points, I forgot how many rebounds he got. 8, 9 rebounds. I think he got 4 block shots. I mean, he did a hell of a job, and I think he's definitely going to help because what he does, that's something that a lot of people were upset with Williams getting rid of Williams. Williams was not an offensive threat. He was more of a defensive player. He's a rim protector, but he couldn't score unless he did the alley oops. But he didn't give you much offense. And what he did was he made the defense draw you in because he wasn't effective. As long as you keep him underneath the basket or make him go out, he can't do nothing. Now with Porzingis, you got another one who can go out on the perimeter, which is going to extend the defense because now you got to go out and play him, which is going to be more room for other players to go and penetrate and do what they got to do. And as you know, Tim is playing out of his mind. Every year he just improves every single year. And he's getting bigger. He seems like he's getting stronger. His confidence level, he can put it to, again, another one that he can do everything. And the people that he's worked out with, I think have given him that mindset. So he's got that mindset where he's gonna do his damn thing. And he very well might average 30 points again. I don't foresee him and Porzingis averaging 30, but I can definitely see Porzingis averaging maybe like 20, between 18 and 20. I definitely see that. And then, of course, Jaylen Brown, he didn't have a good game last night, but you can't go by it. See, you watch all these podcasts and all these damn shows. It's just the season just began. You can't expect. People criticize and break every little thing you do. To me, y'all with new teammates, y'all with a new coach for him anyway. You got a new coach. It takes time. It's an 82-game season, and I watch all these shows, and they're criticizing players after one damn game. I can't believe that. I can't believe it. And then they picked up, of course, Drew Holiday. I think he is probably the best fit for the Celtics because them losing Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart was the leader. Marcus was the one that was the dog in them, and they let him go. And I think Drew Holiday, man, he fits the character, the soul of what I think the Celtics management and ownership want out of a player. If you know Drew, he don't say much. Teammates love him. He goes out there, gives 100%, and you ain't going to hear a peep out of him, but he's going to do his talking on the court. He can play 1 through 3. You know what I mean? And he's about 6'4", 6'5", so people better not get it twisted. He's a big guard. And, he averaged 18 points a game last year, so I don't think he can't score. He's a good foul shooter as well. So I think he's going to add a lot to the Celtics as well. Al Horford, man, he looks like he's about 4 or 5 years younger. He looks pretty damn good. I like the way he's hitting that perimeter shot too, which is going to, again, you extend the defense. That's the key. You can extend the defense. You extend the defense, you can operate a lot more going to the cup, which leaves room because Brown and Tatum like to take it to the cup. With Williams in there, they really couldn't do much because he clogged the middle up. Now they're going to open up the floor, and it's going to be dangerous. I'm also very pleased with Derek White. I think he doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. But coming from a well-coached team, San Antonio Spurs, with my man old Pop. Pop's about 206 years old. Pop might have been there, for, he might have declared independence. I don't know. He was that old, but playing for him, he's going to, I'm sure he was well schooled. And I think that, him coming to the Celtics, he already knows how the game should be played. And as you can see, he another one that can play defense. He can score. He can do a lot of things. He's multi-talented. And then you got the little guy. Man. Little guy coming up the bench. He didn't get much playing time. Yes, I think it depends on the matchups. Whereas you'll be seeing him get a lot more minutes. He just got the bag. Peyton Pritchard, which tough. Kid is tough. I watched him in college, and he's just tough. He got some scoliosis, as we call him out here in the hood. He can just flat out shoot. He's very coming. Look what they did with him the other night. Sat the bench the whole game. They put him in strictly for foul shooting. And you know how it is to sit on the bench all day and then come in and hit foul shots like that in a hostile environment like he did. To me, that says a whole lot about him and about the faith that the Celtics have in him as well. So Celtics, I think at the end of the day, they're going to be right there. I think I'll give my actual thing later on, but I think the Celtics, they did what they had to do. I think they felt that they had to get rid of some players in order to achieve what they wanted. I think the players that they got right now, I think it's time because I think too, guys, is that with Smart there, they felt they really couldn't be no leadership because Smart was there and he kind of like took over everything, and it didn't enable Tatum to take that next step. But I think getting rid of Smart, which was tough to do because he was a fan favorite. I think it now gives more responsibility to Tatum and Brown. I think as the season goes on, you watch them take more of a leadership role. I think they fell back because Smart was there before them, and Smart, I think Smart kind of like took over the leadership roles. But now I think you're going to see Tatum and Brown, more specifically Tatum, take over that leadership role. And I think the team's going to be able to accept that even more as well. And again, Marcus Smart wasn't really a true point guard. Let's keep it real. Out of college, he never even played point at all. Never. So he transferred over to a point guard when he went to college. When he went to the NBA. If you look at him in college, he never even touched the ball. He was strictly shooter. He was catch and shoot. So anyway, like I said, the Celtics, I think they did a real good job. Matter of fact, I'm looking forward to them playing. Matter of fact, they play against Miami Heat tonight. Looking forward to that, by the way. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Now, let's go to the next team. You guys, I said, I kind of wanted my co-host to be here, but we good. We're gonna be all right. Cleveland Cavaliers. No, there were high expectations with the Cleveland Cavaliers. With Mitchell and Garland, and I thought they were going to make that next step. But they got spanked. The Knicks spanked them last year's playoffs. So they got something to prove. I think they got a chip on their shoulder. I think Mitchell's going to have another tremendous year. I think they got a great backcourt. I think the bigs are going to step up and play a lot better this year. Because, again, it's just, like I said, sometimes it just takes a couple years, 3-4 years to get your feet under you. You know what to expect. You know what's expected of you. And, you kind of like when you're first starting in the NBA, you're just trying to find your way. After 3-4 years, you know your way. And you know what it takes to get there. And you know exactly what you need to do. Some choose different paths. And then some you'll see, either whether it be due to injury or due to other things, it don't materialize. But the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think they're going to play a lot better this year. I think they're going to do all right. Now, here's a team I just don't know. They didn't make really any, what I feel, positive moves, but they got rid of. It was the Miami Heat. Look what they got rid of. Strauss. I know Strauss pretty well because he went to DePaul University, where my boy Dave Lair was the head coach. So I kind of knew about Max for a while. I knew he was going to be a pro player. Didn't expect him to be that good. But he ended up becoming he ended up with the G League, and then he made his way around, and then he got an opportunity to play with the Heat, and he took full advantage of it. Now he's with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he's playing well. I don't know why they got rid of him because they really didn't get much for him. Miami Heat, I know they wanted Dame, but they didn't get him, so I don't know. But Miami, they're always in it. They're always well coached. They're always going to find a way to be in it when it comes time for playoffs. But a lot of the big teams, the major teams, they made adjustments. They made some additions. And I think the Miami Heat, they, instead of making additions, they did some subtractions. So I don't know how well that's going to turn out. Miami, I don't know. I think they still need some perimeter shooting. I don't think they really did anything to benefit them as well. I think they're going to have a lot more tough games. Jimmy Butler's going to have to do a lot more this year. Bio is good. They got a decent team, but I think that these other teams are going to surpass them. Okay. Again, this is no specific order. I'm just going to break it down team by team by team. And we're going to go with Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks, I got 2 words. Dang. Enough said. With Giannis, giving him the ball at the end of the game, say, look, man, take over. That gave Dame so much confidence, not that he didn't need it. But, when they do that pick and roll, there's going to be problems because they get the pick and roll. And then they got Lopez, who's going to hang out on the wing, who can hit that perimeter shot. And then you guys got to remember, they got my man who's on a minute restriction in Middleton. He's not even healthy yet. When he gets healthy, now you got another perimeter shooter. You got Lopez. You got Giannis. I mean, they are. Then you got Portis. And then you got, what's his name? Hey, they are so deep. Milwaukee is going to be tough to beat. And then when it comes, y'all know, when it comes that time, you know, it's going to be ugly. Because now you know what to do. Do you go and play him? You go play Dame? He going to hit it to Giannis. You go double team Giannis? He going to hit Dame. You play both of them? They hit Lopez. I mean, what are you going to do? And then you got Middleton. So, I mean, if they stay healthy, Milwaukee, I think Milwaukee is definitely a team to beat. I'm not going to run through this because I know I ain't got too much time left, but I'm going to run it real quick. Orlando Magic, I thought they made some improvements. I mean, they got their top 2 picks for the previous years. The one that got Rookie of the Year this year, I can't pronounce his damn name, but he played very well. And then Suggs from the previous year, they're all healthy. They got Cole Anthony. I think he's going to be good. They got my boy from Philadelphia who they said he was a mess. He's playing really good right now. You know, he had to get over his mental situation or his, whatever, emotional situation. So he's playing a lot better. I definitely think Orlando is going to be a team to contend with in a couple of years. See, teams have to learn how to lose. Teams have to learn how to lose before they can learn how to win. They got to learn how to lose. And I think Orlando's at that point right now where there's no rush. You see, if you know, there's no panic. They know it's a process. It's a process, and it's good because those young players are going to be able to develop, and they're going to end up being. They're going to benefit from being given the opportunity to develop. Toronto Raptors. I don't see much from them. I mean, they did get Dennis Schroeder, who had a great team, the World Games, whatever. He played very well. I don't see them really doing too much, to be honest with you. But again, it's early. I'm just giving you my predictions right now. The Nets, they have a lot of offensive weapons. Ben Simmons, I don't know what's going to happen with him, but he seems to be healthy. Watch out that guy Thomas. He's a big scorer. The Nets got a lot of scoring. I think Nick Claxton's playing well. I think they might need another rim protector, and they got to just play better defense. I think they'll be all right. Now, the Detroit Pistons, you know, that's a funny team. I kind of like them. And again, I got to keep bringing up my boy. You guys know about the Overtime Elite. You guys should recognize who that is. Anyway, that's where the Thompson twins came out of, Overtime Elite. That's where a lot of the young players, you know, probably going to the NBA, they get trained and developed. And again, my boy, Dave Lato, he's one that runs Overtime Elite. So I'm going to have him on my show, by the way, as well. But the Pistons, I think, a growing team, Cade Cunningham, I think they're going to be good. They got a couple of good guys, Ivy. I think they're going to be very good. The Knicks didn't do anything to improve themselves whatsoever. I don't think the Knicks, although they played hard, I don't think they have enough front court scoring power. Their front court lacks scoring power, if you ask me. They're more guard-oriented. They're, you know, and I think that's going to hurt them. If Randall's on, they're a little bit more difficult. But to me, they need some more offensive weapons. And they pay all that money for Fournier. You and I play more than he does, so I think that's going to be pretty sad. The Hawks, they got rid of John Collins. If the Iceman is not hot, it could be a cold winter for the Hawks. The Wizards, again, down the rebuilding. I think Poole's going to be beneficial to them. I think they're going to be all right. I don't think they're going to, again, they didn't make no major moves. I think they're going to, you know, what they did was to try to free up some salary cap. And I think they're going to end up being, a lot of these teams are going to get better as the years go on. But right now, I don't expect much from them. Chicago, oh, Lord have mercy. After one game, you're going to have a team-oriented meeting with you after one game. What does that say? I think that's going to be off the hook. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, with Lonzo Ball, you know, getting hurt and being out, I think that made a major factor. They really get no floor leader. And then they get rid of my boy there that's playing with 76ers now. They got rid of him. So they really got no leader on the court. And I think My man Billy Donovan's going to have a hell to pay this year. The 76ers. My, oh my, the 76ers. You know, I think it's going to be a breakout year for Maxey. I think he's just got that dog in him. And he just, if you know it's Maxey, he's just one way. Maxey is just, it just seems like he just goes very smooth. He's very, you know, he's just, he's coming to his own and he's going to get that bag. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to get that bag. I think he's playing phenomenal, and I think he's going to be great. Again, depending upon what they're going to do with Harden, what Harden we going to get? We going to get will the real James Harden show up or not? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully that you know he comes through, and I think that he still has the talent to bring him in. Plus, you know, it was he was kind of responsible for Embiid getting the MVP. I mean, did lead the league in assists, and he can still hit the shot. He came to camp in shape. So it depends what his mindset is. Is he willing to go out there and bust his behind, and maybe give him out and give him some leverage as to maybe he can, because it's only 1 year. But if he plays, he keeps his free agency. He maybe go somewhere else, or maybe if he plays real well, because Clippers are just waiting and see how they're doing right now. If they start going to a losing streak or things don't go the way they want, they may go bid on Harden. But right now they're bidding against themselves. That's why Harden ain't going anywhere. Then why wait? Why go get him now? For what? So again, anyway, out of the East, damn, oh boy, I think it's going to probably come down to Milwaukee and the Celtics. I think a lot depends upon, first of all, who's healthy, number one, and who has home court advantage. So it's too early to tell, but I think it's going to be them two coming out the East. And if you had to pull my thing right now, I'm going to have to go with Milwaukee right now. But again, things could change with the fact that, injuries are a major factor and anything can happen. And but right now, I'd have to go with Milwaukee as a favorite. And again, because they got that guy, that dime, dollar, dime, whatever his name, whatever you want to call him, they got that guy. Now, I got about 15 minutes. So let me run through the Western Conference real quick, and I'll let you know what's coming on. Upcoming shows that we're going to have. We got a great show coming on the 3rd and the 11th, and I'll fill you in on that. Okay, the Western Conference, Sacramento Kings. They made it so close, and they were so excited. They took the Warriors to the hilt, and they play the Warriors tonight, 10 o'clock, if I recall. You know what's kind of funny is that De'Aaron Fox signed on with Steph Curry. It's new sneaker deal. So now De'Aaron Fox is part of the Curry brand, which is kind of unusual. You would think they would do that during the offseason, but they chose to do it right before they play. Interesting concept. Interesting. Man, with Sacramento, they have a good Sabonis. They got a real good team. Harrison Barnes is playing out of his mind. I think Sacramento will be a team to be reckoned with. De'Aaron Fox is going to come into his own. He has the ability to really do some damage. I kind of like them a lot. I think they're gonna hit the Final Four. I think they may make the Final Four. Denver Nuggets, although Denver Nuggets, they got rid of some players. Everyone says they're so. I don't know. I have to wait and see. And they lost a couple of good players, so I have to wait and see what's going to happen with them. Those two players were a key component off the bench, so I'm gonna reserve my thoughts on Denver. And you know how hard it is to repeat. Think about the last time team repeated. Think about it. So I won't be so quick to put them as the favorites. It's very difficult to repeat. Very difficult. Dallas Mavericks, exciting team to watch. They have some youthful players. Kyrie's Kyrie. Luka is Luka. They can't spell defense at all, but they just figured they're going to outscore you. If you watch Luka, he lost weight, but them guys are responsible for scoring so many points. You can't expect them to play both ends of the court like that. Something's got to give. They just figure, hey, we can get the ball, we can get them the ball, we can outscore them. They get some big guys who just give a lot of fouls and just try to win the game, and which means Luka's probably going to lead the league in scoring or come close to it, and Kyrie's going to be right up there as well. They're both going to average over 25, and hopefully it's the same. They really didn't make major changes. I didn't think they made anything significant with them. Okay, now we go to Clippers. I like the Clippers if they can stay healthy. I think Westbrook played very well towards the end of the playoffs last year. I think he's going to fit in again this year. He knows what's expected from him. You know, with the two guys, Paul and Kawhi, I think they know that they can't sit up so many games, so that rest management, game management, whatever you want to call it, that's come to a halt. So they're going to have to play a lot more games. And as you know, in order to get any postseason award, you got to play at least 65 games. So I think that that's going to make or break the Clippers. So you're going to definitely see a lot of Kawhi and George, and I think that could be really great for the Clippers because they're going to have them more. I think Tyronn Lue is very happy to have them on the team playing more regularly. So Clippers are going to be tough. The Pelicans. Wow. The Pelicans. Well, you got Ingram, who's again, he don't really get much juice, but Ingram is going to be next. Well, he already is. He's about he's one of the top 20 players in the league. He just doesn't get the credibility because a lot of the games are not televised. Ingram is then you got McCollum, another great scorer, shooter, and then you got Williamson. Oh Lord, you see him the other night? He's unstoppable. He shoots a high percentage, and he's also a willing passer as well. I think they're going to be a very difficult team. I think you're going to watch out for them Pelicans. They're going to, depending upon Zion, depending upon how well he, if he stays in shape, if he doesn't get hurt, if he don't put too much, because he gets too much, he jumps too high and puts too much pressure when he comes down from jumping so damn high. But I think he's going to be good. And you know who I like. I'm going to tell you all right now. I told you who my team was on the East. Here's my team from the West, Oklahoma City. I'm telling you right now. You got my man. He is off the hook. Gildress Alexander, Pete Paul Mary, whatever you want. My man is did you know he scored 40 times? He scored 30 points last year. 40 games, he got 30 points. 40 games, got over 30 points. And then they got the new rookie. I think he's going to add to that team as well. I just think Oklahoma City is going to be a fun team to watch. I think they had a good year last year. I think they're going to improve with Holgren, whatever his name is. I think he's going to add some depth. He's going to add some more rim protection. I think he's going to be very, very good. So watch out for Oklahoma City. The Lakers, if they do not get a point guard to distribute the ball and do more pick and rolls, because you know what happened? If you guys watch the game, the Lakers, if LeBron and Anthony Davis do more pick and rolls, that will eliminate Davis going to them doldrums where he doesn't score. You give him that pick and roll, you get more involved in the offense. See, LeBron's smart enough to know that. You know what they do now? Because D'Angelo, they'll post him up, and sometimes they'll get it, sometimes they don't. You put him up top, do a pick and roll with LeBron, what are they going to do? You either play Anthony Davis or you play LeBron. Which one you want to do? Pick your poison. That's what you're going to see the Lakers doing, unless they can get another point guy that can, distribute the ball and do some of the things that LeBron does and take the heat off LeBron and AD. But if they were to do that, you get someone who can do that pick and roll. Whenever you see AD, get into where he's not shooting the ball that much, that's how you break up the monotony. Get him up top, do the pick and roll, pick and pop, get him going. That way he'll at least be able to get some shot attempts. Because the other night he only took 6 shot attempts, didn't make any. I mean, not the game before that. But that's one way to get the Lakers involved. The Lakers got a good team. They get depth. They at the second half of the year, they were the best defensive team in the league. You know what I mean? So I think the Lakers have a good opportunity, but they can't be getting blown out and making them comebacks. LeBron should not be playing all the minutes in the fourth quarter. And again, Phoenix had 2 players that weren't even there. So again, it's early, so we'll see. The Suns, I thought they played pretty well. I mean, the fact that they didn't have Book and they didn't have Beal. When they get them 2 together, all 3, they're going to be tough to beat. But again, they really don't have much on the defensive end as well. And that's going to hurt them as the season goes along. And they really don't have too much height to begin with either. I think that's going to be a detriment to them. So you got to watch out for them. But they're going to be fun to watch. And those 3, if they all get on the same page, They could be an exciting team to watch, but I don't think they're going to be Final Four material. Golden State Warriors, they are the smallest team in the NBA. I don't know how they're gonna make some changes. I don't know, I don't know if Chris Paul was the right move for them. I think I don't think he's the right fit because he kind of throws them off, especially when Draymond comes back. Draymond is the facilitator. He's the point guard. He's the facilitator. I don't see Chris Paul coming in and doing that role. I don't see it. I don't see it. And then Chris Paul is known for getting injured towards the playoff time. I don't see him as a good fit for that team. And again, they're going to be so small. They're going to have Draymond playing the 5, Looney, who did a great job. We don't know what's going to happen with him. Kuminga, I still think he feels that's not his team yet, and he's deferring to Klay Thompson and Steph. That makes it tough. That's why he kind of doesn't know when he doesn't know when if he should take over or not, because he got to defer to Klay, got to defer to Steph, and now they're gonna have to defer to Draymond because you know how he is. The offense runs through Draymond, and how is that gonna unless you have Chris Paul come playing with a second team, maybe. I don't know how that's going to work out. Memphis Grizzlies. Again, they gave up some good players as well. And see, that's what happens when we get free agency. People want to get paid. They want that bag, so they'll go elsewhere. And the grass might not be greener on the other side. It might not be greener. Although I got to give my man Grant Williams, I give him credit. Playing with Dallas, I think he's gonna prosper out there. He's gonna get more playing time than he would with the Celtics. But getting back to the Memphis, we got my man Ja, who's out for 25 games. But what's good is he's still with the team. He's still playing and practicing. He can't play in games, but at least he still, feels part of the team. And I think he's gonna when he does return, they're gonna be a very tough team to deal with. I like the fact they got Derrick Rose there, and they got Marcus Smart to be more. I won't say watchdog, but they got someone he can lean on, and they can keep him in line, keep him in check. I think those are two good moves. They got Jackson, Defensive Player of the Year. They got a good team, but then you get Adams. He's out again. I mean, that's tough. Adams was the glue that solidified that front court. He's gone again. I think that's going to hurt them towards the end of the season. So I mean, I think you had high hopes for them, maybe, but with Ja being out 25 games and then Adams being out, I don't see anything good coming out of that at all. Not at all. The San Antonio Spurs. Now here, we got a dilemma. I only got about 10 more minutes to go, so I'm gonna try to run this real quick. But San Antonio Spurs, they talk about Victor. To me, that's unfair. It's absolutely unfair to put that expectations on someone when they haven't really even played a damn game. You know what that does? That means everyone's gonna expect him to be a LeBron or Jabbar right away, and that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. He's going to get beat up. Why do you think he's out there in the perimeter? He don't want to go nowhere in that paint because he's going to get beat up. He going to get beat up. He's going to get this. I think it's too soon. And they're saying he's the best thing. I'm telling you, hold your horses. I guarantee you by the All-Star break, you're going to be like, nah, he's going to be good. I think he's going to be good. I don't think he's going to be anywhere like they say he is. I really don't. I think he's going to have a great career if he stays healthy. I think he's going to make All-Star team. He may make an NBA All-Defensive team. I don't see him getting no MVP. I don't see him leaving the league in score. I don't see none of that. I don't at all. I truly don't. But, I think he's going to be a very good player. Don't get me wrong. I just think that to put all the expectations on a young kid like he's only 19 years old. You know what I mean? How you going to do that to a 19-year-old kid? You can't do that. Really? You're going to do it to a 19-year-old kid? That makes absolutely no sense. Portland Trailblazers, they gave up Dollar Dame. I think Portland did the right thing because they got a slew of picks. Portland's going to be real tough. I think Portland's, they got my man Scoot. I think you better watch out for him. I think he might end up being Rookie of the Year if quite as kept because he's ball dominant. And as you know, players that have the ball tend to the ball most of the time, tend to shoot most of the time. Means they score most of the time. And even though if Portland can win some games, San Antonio is going to probably do well. I don't think they're going to win that many games. I don't think Portland is. I think that's why Oklahoma City my man Hogan might end up getting the Rookie of the Year because I think Oklahoma City is going to have a better record. And Hogan's, although his numbers may not be as good as Scoot or Victor, I think they're going to have a better record. And a lot of times that might be the deciding factor as to who gets Rookie of the Year. Utah Jazz. Utah's tough. Utah's tough. They got John Collins. They got a little bit more added offense. I like the team. They're steady. They're always going to play hard. They always are going to, they always going to give. They're always going to be not hard to get over the hump. But I think they'll be in the top 10 in the Western. I give them top 10. Minnesota. Oh Lord, have mercy. Edwards is an upcoming superstar. I think they have the potential to be in the playoffs. But they again, it's about healthy. I mean, they got a nice lineup. They got the big men, they got the height, they got the size, they got the speed, they got the quickness, they got the point guard leadership. They got it kind of. This got because the Western Conference is so tough. And then of course you got the Houston Rockets, who again on one of them young teams. Again, they're gonna have a slew of picks. So watch out for the trade deadline. Watch out for what Houston and maybe Portland does. Trade deadline. Just watch out. You heard it here from the Conn Man. Watch out. But anyway, my time has already come and gone. I had a great time kicking it with you all. My guest was supposed to be Justin Pagan and my co-host Mike Samuel, but things happen. So, we're going to be on next Friday. I have a very special guest as well. I'll keep that a little secret. I'll let y'all know. And then, of course, you can check us out. Well, check me out on Monday and Wednesday on the Morning Sports Report with me and my guy, Coach Dante, as we discuss the weekend's games, football, baseball, basketball, and whatever else we come up with. And I think you'll enjoy that show as well. But stay tuned next Friday, live 5 p.m. on the Sports Corner with the Conn Man on the Sports Wave Network. Thank you for tuning in. May God bless you all. Have a great night. Take care. Peace.
All done?
I don't know what happened, huh? Oh,